Hello everyone, Nadeem here with PC.Solutions.Net. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button. That will help everybody else get recommendations for the video. So today we're going to talk about the AI implementation differences between Microsoft and Apple. These are the industry heavyweights. Both of them have some good hardware. Some are ahead in certain areas and some are ahead in different areas. So because we're talking about AI, so let's talk about Microsoft first, because Microsoft is really the front runner on this. They're the ones who invested heavily in AI. They're well ahead of the game. And then recently, Apple started to come to the picture. The thing that Apple has going for it is Apple always integrates their software very well with their hardware. So the polished experience is going to be there. Microsoft, on the other hand, a lot of times they'll cobble things together, hope for the best, and sometimes it can work really well and then sometimes not so well. And the example about things not working so well is how many times has Microsoft tried to implement ARM processors in their devices and it has never worked. Hopefully this time that will work. That's a conversation for another day. Right now, Microsoft has built their AI into Windows, and it's called Copilot. They've built it into Microsoft 365, they've built it into Azure, they've built it into Windows. A lot of the Microsoft technologies have AI built in. Recently, Apple announced they are building something called Apple Intelligence, and they are building it into their devices as well. The main difference in my mind is with Microsoft, you don't get to prompt and accept or deny when your information is going to a cloud provider. So if the AI piece is done in the cloud, which for Microsoft, a lot of the AI stuff is done in the cloud, Microsoft never asks you, hey, can we send this information to the cloud for processing? They just do it. So now your information is already somewhere in the cloud and you hope that it is safe and Microsoft is really doing what they said they'll be doing and they're using it in a good way. On the other hand, the way Apple is implementing it is most of the processing is going to be done locally on the device, but because certain things cannot be done on the device, those things will be sent to the cloud, but the device will ask user permission if it's okay to send that information to the cloud and get the processing done over there. It looks like Apple wanted to wait until they could do most of the processing on device, but the technology is not there and it might take a while for the technology to get there. So they went ahead and implemented this interim step where it's going to try to do everything on device. If it can't, if it needs some cloud backing, then it's going to ask you and send that anonymized information to the cloud provider, get it processed, get the responses back. So again, when Apple is sending information to the cloud for processing, it is anonymizing that data. However, with Microsoft, there is no anonymization going on. It is sending whatever they think they need to process it. So that's the major difference, is the focus on security. We at PCSN here like to assume breach. So I like the way Apple is implementing this. So the idea is go ahead and assume breach and only send anonymized data to the cloud provider, because there could be a breach within Apple's cloud, there could be a breach in the third-party AI provider's cloud, there could be there could be a breach in transit. So there's a lot of things that can happen. On the other hand, Microsoft's approach is trust us, and it's sometimes hard to trust these large companies because there's been so many breaches in so many different companies of all sizes, so it's hard to trust companies. So I like the way that Apple is implementing this, and hopefully it works well. I have still to test some devices with Apple's AI or Apple's intelligence. I have, however, been using Microsoft's Copilot on a few Windows machines and Microsoft 365 and even Azure. So I like some of the things that are happening there. Like, for instance, we've been using it on devices for regular day-to-day stuff. But one thing interesting that works in Azure is it can answer specific questions regarding Azure resources. So, it could be a technical question. It will go ahead and answer that. Or you might not know what kind of service to use or what's the best fit service in your scenario. It can make recommendations on that. So it works pretty good. The only thing is, Azure is in the cloud anyway, so you don't have to worry about your data going to the cloud because it already is in the cloud. I'm eager to see how Apple's implementation works. And the other thing that I'm eager to see is Copilot plus PC. So that is something that's a little different, where Microsoft is going to start to do a lot more processing within device itself. And some of these newer devices, which are, I think the minimum requirement is like 40 TOPS of processing on the NPU. I'll get my hands on something. I had ordered a machine, but it was like so far back ordered that I just canceled it. We'll get some machines from third-party vendors to test it out. But hopefully that will help you out, give you a little perspective on how different companies are implementing AI. And one thing, since we're talking about AI, if you have not try to use a system called Perplexity. If you do a lot of search, try Perplexity instead of Google search or Bing search. I've seen that it has more concise ideas and recommendations as opposed to just throwing a bunch of links out. Try that. And there is a trick to making Perplexity your default search engine in Edge or Chrome. If you need help with that, let me know, reach out. I can make a video on that as well. Until next time, everybody have a great day and be safe.